Hello, children of the night, and welcome to Tarot Nights with the Hanged Empress. Here we do shadow work following the moon.
Yo, VI, play the beat.
Well, Sagittarius energy. This quarter moon sure packs a punch. So I was just kind of vibing, tapping in, and what I got was Bullet for My Valentine, Scream, Aim, and Fire. Not just the song, because I started singing just that song, but then I started singing other songs off of the album, so it really might be that entire album and just that intensity. But that really does kind of encompass and culminate into this last quarter moon with Sagittarius energy, because I feel like we've really gone through it and we have experienced a lot of anger and aggression, maybe not even coming necessarily from us or as a response type situation. But whether it's seated in ourselves or is a reactionary response isn't so much the issue. It's just that it's there. And sitting and noticing that it's there, feeling that uncomfortability, feeling that aggression, feeling that, no, I want that. I should have that. Give me. All of those kinds of feelings, those are good feelings. Those are navigation tools for you to use. Because now you know, oh, I really care about this thing. I really want to fight for this thing. Cool. Now how do we pull back? Pull ourselves back? Isn't that Archer? Ha. Sup, Judgment. How do we pull back? And how do we get that thing? Because we can't just go all off crazy. We have to be pointed. And we have to fire ourselves straight at that thing if we want to hit it. If we want to hit that mark, if we want to accomplish that thing that made us so wild and crazy over it, what does it really mean to you? And how do you get it? Just saw 10 of Cups and the Lovers. Yeah. It's there. Oh, those things. Those are the kinds of thoughts that are bubbling up right now. Oh yeah. Those things. Those are things. I like those things. I think I want to take a seed from that. Now I think that's what we're going to put into our garden. Those things. Those things right there. Those 9 cups. Those satisfying batch. Or maybe some of them were a little bit sour, but either way, I really looked at it. I really learned a lot of lessons, and now I'm going to, we're going to put the seeds into the water. This is the sprouting process. You know, when you sprout plants before you put them into the ground, some seeds you sow straight into the ground. Some of them you'll wrap up in some paper towel and you'll keep it damp for a while in a bag in the window, and the little roots start coming out, and then after your seed sprouts, that's when you plant. They feel decorative. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Some of the seeds in here I think are decorative. They're here purely for aesthetics. I don't know if they serve a purpose, but they feel like hanging plants that look really nice, and they're cleaning the air. You know what I mean? Like, they're not bad. They serve their purpose, but also not all of the seeds that we're planting are going to be food. Not all of the things that we want to do are going to be specifically for this one, nourishing thing. It's not. It's a whole garden. We're planting a whole garden, and we can have some house plants too. We can grow some nice ivies, get you a pothos, some things that just look nice, that help to keep your air clean. That's all they really do. They just hang out. They're friendly. They have good vibrations. We just like having them around. They don't have to do stuff for us more than what they already do. Just being there, being cool, cleaning that air for us. That's it. That's enough. That's enough for some of those seeds. So I think that's important to keep in mind. I think it's important to remember that not every seed is going to equal your survival next winter. You know what I mean? Like, some things are going to be there just for us to enjoy, and that doesn't mean that they get less or more care. We have to keep it in balance. So yeah, some of the things that we want to do may be purely for aesthetics, but they're going to serve a purpose, and they're going to do what we need them to do. Those little things that we do purely for aesthetics, purely for fun, can sometimes really spark a lot of cool things, not just within yourself and your own creativity, but they can inspire other people to take those ideas and go further with it and do things with those things in their own way. They'll take a cutting from your plant and they will transplant it over and reroot it in their own garden and grow it with their things in their environment. It's so abundant. I'm ready for spring. Are you ready for spring? It's Pisces season. Come on, we're so close. We're so close. King of Pentacles up there too, like just staring at the ground like, I'm waiting for that crown to thaw. It's okay, it's okay. We're putting them into their little cups. We're putting them into their tiny little pots. We are starting to sprout our seeds. It's happening. Patience is a virtue. The Archer is full of fire and patience. Death. We're waiting for the revival. We're waiting for the rebirth. The death phase of the year. We've almost closed it out. And we have sat here and we have waited. Didn't move from our spots. We were here. We're still here. We're waiting. Let's see, we got our plants in hand. Can I get you that? Is that a clear enough picture? You see, we have our plants in hand, ready to transplant into the warmed earth when that sun gets close enough to heat the ground once more, the way that it needs to for our seeds to properly flourish. Sorry, I just kind of like got caught in a moment with this crow on the skull and the bottle of spirits as we dance. There's just so much love pouring out of this ending that I don't even think we expected. Remember we were like blasting through to get to water because it was so cold and it was so dry and we just couldn't get enough water, and like now you can almost feel the waters warming and flowing and a whole river rushing, pushing us out to sea. Pushing us out to sea. Thank you, the world, for illustrating. These are really just parlor tricks. I'm just illustrating what I'm talking about. These are conversations that I have with the stars and the universe and the plants and the water and the earth. So we just pull out pretty pictures to make you guys impressed. I don't even know all of their names or all of their purposes, but they talk to me anyways. So we listen to all of the messages. We listen to all of the signs and the synchronicities. We learn to quiet ourselves down and hear the vibrations of the earth to understand what it is when there are actual animals that see you and are trying to tell you something. Like, they know you. They've seen you around their territory enough to know when they are gonna, like, pick you out and say, hey, I have something to say to you. Oh, okay, I'll listen. If a bird's talking to you, shut up and listen. Just shut up and listen. I feel like we're, like, just dodging. Dip, dive, ducking, and dodging through so many, like, traps. So many crazy things that just really should be upsetting us and throwing us off of our path, and we're just kind of tiptoeing through all of those little obstacles, just slipping and sliding through it like, nope, I don't think so. I'm just kind of slithering through. It's the year of the wooden snake. Let's get a little snaky. Get in with the snake. Sneak on through. It's how we get past the guards, the landmines, all the crazy things out there. You gotta be a little sneaky. It's okay. It's okay. Because we're getting to where we're going. I'm also thinking again, back onto the plants, but the sneakiness of plants sometimes. Some seeds will take forever to sprout, and like to actually just get this far, it feels like a lifetime. It's like 3 weeks of just like, no, nothings, and then in 3 days, where'd all that growth come from? That's what it feels like. It's sneaky. We were sneaking. We were just gathering all of our resources until we were ready to shoot up. Okay. So pointed, judgment. Pointing at me. Judgment. The judgment. Oh no, it's pointing at me. Judge. Judge my heart. It's coming for me, you say? It's all gonna go wrong, you say? Because I think that it's not an ending. I think it's just the beginning. I think we're finally closing out that prologue. And I think that he who points the finger should probably be careful lest that light be reflected back upon him. Because who are you really pointing at when you're pointing at somebody? You did this. How darest thou do this? But when you pull yourself back and you think about how you really feel about the situation, aren't you kind of just pointing at a mirror? Isn't the thing that you're pointing at something that you might have said or done once that made you feel bad, caused you to criticize yourself? And now that you're seeing it reflected in somebody else, you feel like you're allowed to be aggressive to them because people tell you you're not allowed to be aggressive with yourself. Don't speak down to yourself. Sometimes we do dumb stuff, and going through that process internally reaps a lot better results than when we force it to be a reflection externally, right? Bad things happen. Physical things end up happening. Anything could happen when we put that out there and let somebody else reflect it back to us. That's why our whole thing has been pull it back. Pull it back. Resist against ourselves. It's not them we're fighting, it's us. If this enemy seems too formidable, fight you. If you feel like you're being attacked and judged, how would you judge yourself? And when you put yourself on that scale, do you kind of laugh? Me? Okay, put my heart up there. Let's weigh it. I know the darkness, I know the heaviness, I know the weight of it, but I also know the light. I know the care. I know how good my heart is. We know how good our heart is. Despite all of the negativity within ourselves, externalized. Go ahead, judge. Judge away. But if we're putting me on the scales, we're putting you on the scales. Don't you forget. And if you don't want to get into this back and forth battle, withdraw. Pull it in. Fight against yourself. We have goals. We have thoughts. We have plans. We have seeds to attend to. We don't have time to Libra back and forth anymore. We've already gone through our transformation, and we're up into Sagittarius, and it's time to make moves based off of our judgments, based off of everything that led us to this moment and this point in time. We're not moving backwards. Despite, again, those sneaky traps and landmines that want to push us backwards. Justice falls on the side of chaos. But there is hope for renewal. When justice turns back and allows complete destruction, like, sometimes it just needs to happen. Sometimes a judge is sitting there and like, you know what? Just get out of here. Good luck. Good luck with what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I've judged it for myself. I don't think any action that I take is going to influence you one bit. Therefore, good luck. And they just let it fall to chaos, madness. Why do they do that? Why would they do that? Why would somebody do that? You weren't going to listen anyways. You literally said you don't want to hear it, right? Okay. Well, if you don't want to hear the judgment, the explanation, the reasoning, the logic, the other side of the scales, cut it. We're gonna cut it loose. All of these just kind of coming down. The Nine of Swords, Three of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles, just taking an odd trajectory. Internalizing, redirecting all of the swords that we feel coming in, pushing out, putting into ourselves, taking and just falling on, like, because we can. All of those swords, we're turning their angles. We are changing their perspective. Instead of letting these swords, like, I have this image of like Freddy Krueger hands kind of aspect with these 9 swords coming down, like just scraping. And rather than letting them scrape and claw at our flesh, move out of the way, direct it, and scrape and claw at the earth. Take it down into the ground and use that aggression to break through the ground so that we can plant these seeds. We're tilling all of this nonsense, all of this stuff, and we're like, oh, I'm so worried, I'm so stressed about it. Use it to till the soil. Now's the time. If it's warm enough. It's not warm enough here. I'm not doing any groundwork right now. We're still phase planting. But getting ready to break through the ground, loosen up the soil, clean up the dirt, compost, and re-nourish, getting ready to plant those seeds. I'm patiently impatient. Practicing that patience, but directing it towards our intentions. I kind of feel like we're putting that sun down into the ground. We're putting the very sun itself down into the ground. It's very close to the earth. The sun is very close to the earth. I don't know what that means to you, because it's not literally what's happening, but there's something in there about the sun being very close to the earth. And I think that's an elemental message. Okay. But justice is out on the side of chaos, and we're bringing in our own sense of balance and perspective. Turning it again. There is no judge or jury up in this court. There's just you, me, and he. That's it. So what do? Do we keep bashing, colliding up against each other, rattling each other's cages, trying to get each other back into cages, gain control of the situation? No. That's not the game that we're playing here. In this world, in this life. All of this stuff should be utilized as part of the cyclical process. Applying our own justice, applying our own balance, by doing exactly what we need to be doing in this season. Plotting. Starting our seeds. Getting ready to celebrate the return of the sun. And I know it's already been coming back. Obviously, we've already had our equinox, and the days are getting longer, but the sun's still moving its way back around. We just came out of Aquarius season. Its most uncomfortable place. Now we're getting into Pisces season, settling and adjusting. Now we're starting to pour those emotions into those dreams. Like I said, we're giving them water. So trust and respect the entire process, even the aggressions. Give them that smile. Give them that little giggle. I know. But you know what? It serves. And that's all I need to know. It's building walls. It's building foundations. I don't want to take all of these cards. We're like 22 minutes in, guys. But there's a bunch of cards. There's Ace of Wands, Seven of Cups, and Temperance wants to come together. Two of Swords, Six of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. All leading back down into that Hermit. The Wise One. It is going to be a Virgo full moon, huh? After this new moon. Interesting. With the quickness of this ace and the lightning striking, this feels like faster paced growth. Remember how I was talking a little bit earlier about the, the seed that seems to take forever, and then all of a sudden, overnight, it triples in size, the bounty. Like, whoa. Something might come to fruition by that Virgo moon, is my guesstimony. It's my guess and testimony at the same time. Why is it a testimony? I don't know. Nothing's happened yet. I'll let you know when we get there, I guess. Guesstimony. What the fuck making up words, don't mind me. Temperance, Two of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. I don't know if we are defensive for or against this. It's probably a little bit of both. It's a little bit of something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. Like, it's got a taste and a flavor and inspiration from the past, but it holds no comparison at the same time. And it's reflection and even pours. The way that these pools evenly pour into each other have a particular flow of Viva Los Biodome from our previous read of these pools meeting and creating the exact correct amount of moisture and just basic elements of nature for things to grow. It's coming in and it's protecting it in its early stages. So it's a little bit of both. We might be a little bit freaked out at what's going on the inside, but at the same time, I think we're doing good. I think we're coming into it, and I think we're figuring it out. Watch out for something coming into fruition through Pisces season. Most of these things take a lot of time to process and to grow, but some things come up overnight. Don't you doubt that. If you've been putting in all that we're looking for, I think we might find our stability, foundations, finances, and just general luck might take a quick turn. Like, it's like just a little down bend, and if we can keep our spirits up, we can fly ourselves right up out of there. We're just kind of harmonizing every read I've done for the last month. Or, I don't know. It's cool. We gotta touch base. We gotta come back. All of the messages flow in to one another because we are telling a story. This isn't just random reads. We follow storylines here. I will make an arc out of anything because it's easier to understand the concept when they have relatable characters and recurring themes. And that's how life is established. That's how life is set up. We're just following the flow of life and cyclical nature and trying to teach people what that even means. Yes, we are living in an age of hydroponics where you can start anything, anytime, but when you start growing plants indoors, that means that you are now accountable for that sunlight, and you have to apply the seasonal changes to your plants that you are growing indoors. You can't give them the same amount of sunlight. You can't just turn a light on, throw some plants in a room, and walk away. You still need to tend and care for them even more now, because now you are the sun and the rain for these plants. Whereas when you put them outside, nature just kind of takes its course, right? So, creating that biodome, back in there one more time, so that we can recreate all of the outer natures in a smaller, controlled space, a safe space for the growth and development of our new seeds, thoughts, plans, ideas, and goals in life. Thanks, kids. It's been great. We'll see you next time.